you can't wear this. I saw somebody joke on social media the other day. It was like a coach in South Florida whose son actually plays in the league, and it was some joke about winning the lottery or what would you do with this amount of money? He's like, I'd pay all the fees that players got hit on for wearing something they're not supposed to wear.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. But another change, I've got not to take us off topic. I'm not going to do my opening monologue, but it's a little bit it's something I didn't get to yesterday to go with like the Kentucky Hate Week thing. So Wes and I were doing GC Live after the game, our podcast. And we had a Kentucky stragglers in there. There were not as many in there as there were the previous week. They decided not to come out. Yeah, I don't know. But one did show up and said, you guys, like we played, you guys have a dirty team. Or you remember that, Wes? What was it? It was like you have
something like that.
Thank you.
So Preston's like,
Best compliment I've heard
ever
all year.
I appreciate it.
So he said something multiple times too. I mean, he was really on it. You guys have a dirty team. And so the rule changes that you were talking about, Pearson, made me think of this. So the 2019 season brought in the new rule about blindside blocks, right?
Which is a terrible rule. That's like just football.
So yesterday I was telling you guys my take on the Antoine Wells play. And the reason I had a take is because I went back and I watched a video that go ahead.
Let me cut you off real quick.
No,
let's give them some perspective. We're talking about the Antoine Wells block on the Jalen Brooks touchdown run.
The reverse.
Not the Juice Wells touchdown run of his own. Continue.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for that. Yeah, so Juice Wells decleated a Kentucky defender with a block. And the broadcasters were talking about how it might have been an illegal blindside block. And so I do have a take on that. I can give that later. But the funny part of it was I went back and did some research. What is the rule? Because I really didn't know what the elements were. They put out a video. Rogers Redding, who was the head of officials at that time, put out a video in 2019. And it was a compilation of here's what we want people to do in terms of blocking, which is basically running in front of somebody with your arms up for a blindside block.
You see on punts and kickoffs a lot now.
Yep. Then they showed several examples of like, okay, I can see why they outlawed that blindside blocks as an example of what not to do. And the funny thing is, one of the three examples that they used on the illegal blindside block was literally from Kentucky. I think the previous season under Mark Stoops. But South Carolina's got a dirty team.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, Andrew's going to hate, right?
Like I said, thank you. I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Because nobody calls a team dirty that you lost to.
No.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably not.
That's true.
And by the way, that Wells block, I think it was a good no call. If they called it, I could have seen it. It wouldn't have been like egregiously awful. I'm basing it on the elements.
Yeah. I don't like that. That doesn't need to be. He hit the dude in the front. It's that dude's fault if he doesn't have his head on a swivel.
Yeah, the guy turned around. Yeah. So that's where I wouldn't have been like, that's the worst call ever type of thing. Like, what was the Florida game where the guy's like literally blocking somebody, on a pass, like way down the field while the ball's in the air? Not that egregious.
I feel like, and you read the rule, which even if you read these rules, it's like it's got like what's a catch and what's not.
They're
like
deliberately
it changes. It depends on interpretation, but it seems like if we're gonna be kind of use some common sense here as well, which I realize doesn't always have a place in sports. One thing I feel like they're trying to get rid of is that block where your guy, so your offensive guy, is going against the grain, like going back away from your end zone, like a true crackback block, I feel like. Whereas this, Preston's like heart is hurting right now. I can feel it in the room. But this, they were running parallel, I feel like. So I wonder how much of an aspect that is, and that this was not an unnecessary block for the play. This block helped spring the play. Like, it wasn't something where you just lit the guy up because you could.
Yeah. I hope the NCAA rule has like these physics, like lines and momentum, and
it doesn't.
Angular acceleration and all these things.
The rule is, A blindside block is defined as a block that originates from outside the player's field of vision. All right. So that doesn't make it illegal, though. The illegal part is if you forcibly contact the player and it was something about
And you hurt his feelings.
not not launching, but something of that nature. And so on that block, Wells ran to the spot, but then he kind of stopped, right? He kind of almost broke down. And then the guy does get his head around. So I don't think it met either of the elements, really.
It was also just a beautiful block.
It was a
Hold,
great block.
hold that thought.
It's time for your chance to win $100 and qualify for the $25,000 grand prize in our $25,000 signing bonus contest. Just text the following national keyword to 95819. Your national keyword to text is
Bond. James Bond. BOND. Don't text James. You're not going to win anything. Bond.
Text that
BOND.
national keyword to 95819. Standard text messaging rates may apply. Please don't text and drive. The $25,000 signing bonus contest on 107.5 The Game.
Preston, you're potentially subject to blindside blocks your entire playing career. And I think even you are anti that rule.
How can you be defenseless on defense? There's no such thing as the defensive player.
Yeah.
We were running around all defense. What are we doing?
Yeah.
That's just a wild play. When I was coaching at Blythewood, we used to go up to South Point, and they were full of all the South Point dudes, many of which we know, many of which we do not know.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just set up the first punt return every game. And it would look like there was a sniper in the audience. And it'd just be like, bow, bow, bow. And there'd be like 5 flags and players would be laid out. And they would just do it intentionally because every punt return after that, your players would be running down like, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And, I miss those days. I was wondering, with this new NCAA game coming out, can there be a mode where you play with old rules?
Ooh.
I want to play by the 2018 rules, or let's just have a little cowboy collar in this game. You know what I'm saying? Is there a lane for that?
Yeah, because I don't want to just have like a normal play and run up to the quarterback and sack him, and like my computerized controlled character lands on the quarterback and they throw a flag for roughing the passer.
Like he landed on him too hard in the game.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be
exactly.
Madden for sure would have that.
Madden would definitely have that.
It's like you got to rotate the right stick really fast so that you roll off the quarterback so your full body weight doesn't go out on the.
So when you're setting up the quarters, it's like 5-minute quarters, all pro or whatever. Face mask, yes. Cowboy collar, yes. Chop block, yes. Blindside blocks, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that old 1975 football.
Oh, gosh,
2 days practice.
2 days practice.
Yeah, there you go.
You can only pick from the I formation or the wishbone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Have y'all ever played 15-minute quarters in NCAA?
I'm sure I have.
I used to we'd bump it up to about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I
minutes,
played
I
7
think.
or 8 because
5
that's the
is
right
too
balance
fast.
of accumulating stats, but the games aren't too long.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I did 15-minute quarters one time.
never again.
You played the whole thing?
Played the whole thing. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember my friend Joe and I had just watched a Carolina-Clemson football game, and Clemson had won the football game. So we turned the game off and fired up NCAA, I don't know, probably 07 or something, and set it to 15-minute quarters, put all the sliders up for Carolina, all the sliders down for Clemson. And like midway through the second quarter, it was like 288 to nothing, and the thing stopped counting.
Therapy.
Yeah.
You broke the game.
Yeah, basically. Which, by the way, last Friday was the 100 and something anniversary of Georgia Tech beating Cumberland College 222 to nothing. I think it might have been the 100th anniversary.
Are y'all gonna get the game when it comes out? Or
I have to acquire a current gen game system, which I do not have right now, and apparently is harder to find than something that's hard to find. Buried treasure.
yeah, somebody asked on our online stream when it's coming out. I think it comes out next year, like probably next summer, I believe. So you have time.
August 23.
If somebody
go.
wants to, get me a PS5 for fun, I would appreciate it. There you go. I'm just going to put that out there into the world. 803-404-6100. Have you ever played a 15-minute quarter NCAA football game.
The
Y'all
bye
let
week
us
is
know.
here.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm excited. Sliders
much
the
fun.
other thing that I used to love, and they stopped doing this, and this isn't like old school football, but old school NCAA. Can't remember when they stopped doing it. I remember doing it a lot in NCAA 2003. The line of scrimmage was like a solid line, and you could keep, if you turned offsides off, you would just keep running into the line. So you could start with a head of steam, like just outside the tackle, and get a sack like almost every time. And then they stopped doing that.
Can I get football nerd really quickly, because you just, while we're outlawing things and banning,
Yeah.
we've already banned the pushing forward. What else did we ban earlier?
Icing the kicker.
Icing the kicker. Let's do away with that. No more pushing the pile. Also, you offensive coaches, y'all are starting to get real sneaky with these Canadian Football League motions.
Mm.
I see a lot more movement, people moving towards the line of scrimmage right before the snap, and the referees are not calling it, and I don't like it. I'm just telling you, I'm seeing it a little bit more. Matter of fact, we did it against Kentucky. That orbit motion a little bit
On the reverse.
on the reverse. It's sneaking into the game, and I don't like it.
You're going to start seeing guys go back there 20 yards back.
We're getting towards Canadian football, and I'm just telling you, I don't approve of it.
I always thought it was kind of cool.
Of course you would.
Just because it looks.
You don't
looks
have to.
awesome.
You don't have to defend the dude that's running 20 miles per hour towards you, and you're standing still.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe that's why Canadian football never caught on. That or the goalpost in the front of the end zone. Like in
and
rugby or
you
something.
can't touch him. Even though you're standing still and he's some guy that can run a 4.4 gets a 20-yard head start, you cannot dare touch him.
All I'm
You have to
saying
defend him
is
perfectly.
it's sneaking into offensive football, and if we're not careful, it's going to be out of control.
Something to keep your eye on. Roughing the passer, icing the kicker, pushing the pile, illegal motion, crop tops.
Yep.
I didn't realize that was going to be the theme of today's show, but it is. So that's great. 803-404-6100. Love Chevy phone line, text line. Get all of us on Twitter, at Pearson Fowler, at Coach P Tweets, at Wes Mitchell GC, at GC Chris Clark. We'll get a few more thoughts on the Carolina-Kentucky game. Most importantly, though, while we're on the subject, I have to ask Wes and Chris a really serious either or. Preston and I already discussed this. Got to get you two guys to weigh in next.
The Early Game with Bill Gunter and Jen Jensen.
Spending all day at the fair, just one big lump of lard over at the fairgrounds, just indulging in all the fried food I can find.
I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll just be passed out there in the middle, right by the rocket. So when all the kids have to go meet their parents,
meet your bill at the rocket.
All the lost kids, yes, they get their parents can point at me as I'm laid out on a bench, and they can be like, "See, this is why you don't walk off at the fair. You end up like this guy. Look at this guy with that belly over there just stretched out."
It's really sad. And you know what he does for a living? Talks on the radio. So
yeah.
This is a good teaching moment, children.
Such a sad, don't end up like, pay attention in school, kids. Pay attention in school.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
This is Damon Amendolara with a CBS Sports Minute. 4 division winners had to wait 5 days to play real baseball again, and 3 of the 4 slow out of the gate. The Braves lost outright to the 87-win Phillies. The Astros needed a massive comeback to beat the Mariners, and the Yankees didn't get going until the 5th inning last night. Looks like we've got a spooky October trend. This is Damon Amendolara.
O'Reilly. It's Super Start Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Super Start batteries. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Super Start batteries. We also have battery solutions for many hybrid and electric vehicles. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
High school coverage on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
Hey Gamecock fans, this is William DiMaggio with Coldwell Banker Realty. Since 1985, my parents Danny and Karen Hood have been striving to give better than expected real estate service to our clients in the Midlands of South Carolina. In 2014, I joined them, and since then, the Hood team has consistently been recognized as the #1 Coldwell Banker Realty small team in the Carolinas. So if you want honesty, integrity, and results backed by experience in buying or selling real estate, call the Hood team at 803-730-2512 or online at thehoodteam.com.
If you have tax problems, it can affect all aspects of your life. Now's the time to do something about it. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. Everyone at our firm truly believes we can improve the lives of our clients by eliminating the stress and worry of IRS tax problems. We're a local South Carolina law firm dedicated to resolving your tax problems for good. Simply put, we solve tax problems. So if you're facing IRS tax liens, bank or wage levies, or have years of unfiled tax returns, come meet with us in person. Your first visit is free and confidential. We'll show you how we will solve your problem and how much it'll cost. So don't put it off any longer. Call us now at 803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to our website at irsproblemsolving.com. It is time to do something about that tax problem. Your solution is right here in South Carolina, so hire a South Carolina attorney. Hire me, John Ecton.
Employee onboarding?
Automated.
Customer support?
Automated.
What if you could automate all your company's routine operation tasks and do it easily?
Lead management?
Automated.
With Zapier, you can. Zapier is the leader in no-code automation. Connect over 5,000 apps, automate almost any workflow, and streamline your team's performance without hiring a developer and with no coding required. That's right. Zapier's templates make it simple for you to automate anything in minutes, no matter your level of expertise. Zapier eliminates routine tasks and frees your employees to focus on the bigger picture. And with Zapier's advanced security features and annual SOC 2 audits, your data is safe and secure. See why thousands of companies, including Slack, Salesforce, and HubSpot, trust Zapier to automate their businesses.
Even complex tasks?
Automated with Zapier.
Try Zapier for free today at zapier.com/radio. That's zapier.com/radio. Zapier.com/radio.
My friends at the South Carolina Forestry Commission want your help in canceling wildfires this year.
Or at least the ones caused by humans, which are about 90% of all wildfires.
Negligent but avoidable behaviors like careless outdoor debris burning,
lax campfire safety, and improper vehicle and equipment use
are the leading causes of wildfires in South Carolina.
Please think before you burn outdoors or operate spark-producing equipment.
Let's cancel wildfires, South Carolina.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Forestry Commission, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler, Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell on the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
21 minutes after 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and welcome back into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Pearson, Preston, Reese's Senior Bowl, and Dude in the Weight Room here with you in the Herndon Chevy Studios at 107.5 The Game. Want to remind you, keep listening to 107.5 The Game. We'll continue to give you chances to win tickets to go see Styx at the Township. It's like in April. It's like really far away, but you'll go ahead and have those tickets before they even go on sale. So go ahead and just keep listening to 107.5 The Game. It was Shay that won them earlier, and we'll have more chances for you throughout the course of the day. Shay Serrano listens to our station. How cool is that, guys? No, I wish. Wes, Chris, Preston and I were talking about this earlier as we're talking about rule changes. I don't know why that's what we've settled on here on a Wednesday, but Preston is, as you might imagine, adamantly opposed to pushing the pile. So I suggested a possible alternative. Either one, you're not allowed to push the pile and everything else remains the same. Or two, you are allowed to push the pile, but there's no more forward progress and you're down where you're tackled, not where your forward motion arbitrarily stopped. Which one of those do you like better?
Oh, God. So when you say there's no more forward progress, you mean there's no more forward progress rule where, like, they blow the whistle? It's just literally where you hit the ground.
Yeah. Like, a lot of guys, it's, you're running at the first down marker and you get hit and then you get pushed back 3 yards. Like, you're just 3 yards back. You don't get the the credit for getting there because you got your ass pushed back 3 more yards.
I feel like that would break the game. I feel like there would be some unintended consequences to that. So I don't know. Help me out here, Chris.
Is that the only option? Because I was going to merge them. So
you can have forward progress.
You can have forward progress,
and you can push the pile, and defensive players aren't allowed to tackle offensive players.
Well,
and
I'm probably making it a lot more complicated, but so there's a point where there's forward progress. The referee would have to like mark it or something mid-play. And so if 5 guys are holding you up from falling down and you've gotten to say the 20, if they hold you up and they throw you backwards to the 15, you're not down at the 15, you're at the 20. But if 5 guys are holding you up and they can't tackle you and you keep going forward to the 25, you get that too. You see what I'm saying? Can you do that?
Yeah, but that's like you're down where you're tackled.
Yeah. But I thought you were saying there's literally
you can't have forward progress and let 5 offensive linemen push a quarterback sneak into the end zone.
Or pull.
That's
the new thing they're doing. They're pulling too.
Yeah, we're 1 half step away from the left guard and the right guard just converge on the quarterback, pick him up, and just chuck him over the pile.
I would pay to see that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. We're not far off from that.
What was the first one?
Legal?
What was the
Bush push?
Yeah, that was the one. That's what I was thinking of, the Bush push. It was awesome.
I just think it would be fun. It's just like because forward progress is so arbitrary anyway. It's like, where did your momentum stop? Did he get there? It's impossible. I'm tired of reviews. Also, like one of my other biggest, holy cow, talk about pet peeves. I was talking about icing the kicker earlier and how it doesn't actually ice kickers anymore. They're expecting to have the warm-up kick, and you need to just stop calling timeouts, and they're going to take the kick and miss it and be like, wait, I thought I had another one. So stop icing the kicker. The other thing is when you get a first down and then you unget the first down to try to like run around and get more yards. Like it's usually wide receivers running crossing routes and they're like right at the line. And then they're like, ooh, let me dip back here and try to get more yards. And then they get tackled 2 yards short of the sticks. And referees will give them the first down because of the forward progress. I think 1, you shouldn't get the first down. And 2, if you do that, if you're a pro, you should get cut. And if you're a college athlete, you should have your scholarship revoked immediately.
Yeah, but the rule there is that you don't get forward progress if you purposely run backwards.
Well, I mean, it depends though. Like sometimes there's a little gray area. There's like a statute of limits. It's like playing advantage in soccer. Like if it happens within 1 second, they'll give you the forward progress. But if you dance back there, then you're down back there. I think it happened in a Carolina game recently. Actually, it's just like, man, like very few things in football drive me more crazy than watching a dude get a first down and then unget it to try to get more yards.
Unget.
Yeah.
Good word.
Wes, what's your biggest pet peeve in all of football since we're here?
Oh, golly. Put me on the spot. Biggest pet peeve. I'm sure I have one, but there's nothing that just, I'll tell you, actually, I do know what it is. It's the red hat guy interrupting this great football game we have going on and standing there for 3 minutes.
I know. That's kind of a cop-out, though. Like, you're not going to not have the
commercials. The cop-out is that you asked me on the spot and gave me no heads up on this. But the 3-minute guy, all right, here's the thing.
How much football have you watched in your life? You know what you hate.
Here's it. We can fit the ads in nowadays creatively without actually going away from the broadcast. So give me, I'm much more apt if I'm watching on TV to continue watching a little bit if y'all maybe give me something during the break,
like the box in box.
Yeah, give me something entertaining during the break, and I might pay attention to the ads as opposed to using that as an opportunity to completely tune out from what's going on the screen. Yeah. So,
all right, Chris, your partner's not ready, so I need an answer from you.
Now, did you have something left on that?
No, that's pretty much it.
The best, I'm sure there's something else that's more, but since we're kind of on the spot, I think it's still that we still don't seem to have any idea what targeting is.
It's a good one.
But we don't know. I mean, Decarrion Joyner got destroyed in the A&M game.
In 2019. Yeah. Wow, how do you remember that?
Destroyed. They looked at it for I'm sure 25 minutes like
Yeah,
they
it was
always
30
do.
to 3, and there were 3 minutes left in the game, and it was a 5-minute review.
Yeah. They took forever, looked at it, saw him get annihilated in his head. Nah, we're good. I mean, I just,
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
and
get
the
it. We
offensive
just,
players can't target either. It's like the quarterback puts his head down and headbutts you in the face, and the defensive player, oh yes.
and
Preston
I've
did
seen
like the reverse cat thing.
and I've seen a bunch where you're like, that's definitely targeting, and they're like, nah.
Offensive players can't target.
Offensive face mask. Why don't we call it? All these little offensive guys, they just want to put their arms out and they say they're stiff arming you, but they're really face masking you to the ground. But then if I grab their face mask, it's a penalty. Wonder who this game is set up for.
They'll get offensive linemen with the illegal hands to the face, but they never call out on skill position players.
Never.
I do feel like I've heard more. It could be just, I don't know, recency bias or something. I do feel like I've heard more hands to the face in college football this season on offensive linemen.
Yeah, but only on linemen.
Yeah, just on offensive linemen. That's it.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
targeting, we still have no we have no idea what it is.
I would say replay in general in
Yes.
sports, I thought was a great idea when they brought it on, and it's actually pretty terrible because they don't get the calls right, and it takes so much of the momentum and the flow out of a game. And I mean, y'all know I watch a ton of baseball. MLB replay is the absolute worst of all the sports because they are scared to change a call, and but you stop the game. And in football, it's like every other 3 plays. Oh, we're gonna go look at this spot. We're gonna go look at this. I think it needs to be a little more defined on what is worth taking all this time. And then the other thing, they will literally go to a commercial break and have had the 3 minutes with the red hat guy on the field, and then we'll turn around and tell the crowd, hey, previous play is under review. And then you watch the guy slowly jog over there to that little iPad.
Now you're heating up, Wes.
And then they review it for another 5 minutes instead of just, hey, guy over there, check this out while we're on the commercial break. Hey, guys, we looked at this. This is where the ball's supposed to be. Go play. There's a much more efficient way to do it.
I propose no timeouts. We don't need timeouts anymore, especially if your game is on TV. What do we need timeouts for? They stop the plays, plenty of opportunities. If you don't run out of bounds, you don't stop the clock, man. Let's keep this thing moving.
I'm fine with that.
Every time they go to break, it's a timeout. They have 10 of them a half. Get them out of here.
The best part about that Carolina win over Kentucky on Saturday, that was a tight 200 minutes. We were out of there. It was really nice. Not a lot of plays.
One other thing, and it's not even it kind of is an on-field thing, and it's not just college football. I just thought of this as we were talking about officiating. The thing that irks me the most, and I'm not saying people should be, slandered and show up at people's houses or whatever like people like to do nowadays. But the fact that the officials are like the only people anywhere in a stadium or arena that have no accountability for their actions is really frustrating. Fans have been kicked out of games for sometimes doing things they definitely deserve, sometimes not doing much, holding up a sign or something, you get kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
If a coach messes up,
Yeah,
they're held
players
accountable.
get penalized, reporters get decked by Devontae Adams. Like everyone has repercussions except for referees.
So, and I was thinking of it because, there was even some stuff where, literally like the whole Don Staley, Frank Martin, like the fiasco with Greg Sankey and all that stuff in, I think that was 2018. Like there was this SEC official that, didn't get anything, but Frank Martin gets in trouble for he did break a rule, by saying some stuff, but the official got nothing.
That's the worst rule.
And then in the Southern Conference, I think it was earlier this month, they made their first, it was believed to be the first ever public reprimand of an officiating crew ever.
They've gotten all the other calls right.
I guess so.
So,
that kind of, I don't know what you do, but I remember the Sun Belt, they suspended a crew in 2019 for some stuff, but overall, it's just kind of like, there's a lot of protection.
Well, so, go ahead.
Defensive backs waving their hands when the ball was clearly out of play, and they act like they they act like they did something to that.
Yeah. Or just like the ball skips 15 yards in front of the receiver, and the DB's like, nope.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah,
the
that
safe
one.
thing.
That
Yeah,
one.
Yeah. That's my friend Joe's biggest pet peeve. He's like, you did nothing. Why are you celebrating?
Mm-hmm.
Let me do real quick. 2 plugs here. Soccer, no commercials.
Mhm.
They have like the most profitable leagues in the world outside of the NFL, and they find a way to get it done throughout the course of the game. I think everyone can learn a lesson from that, going hand in hand with your no timeouts thing. Also, everyone complains about review. I've always defended review, but you're right. Like the fact that they don't even get it right is a huge problem with all the stoppages they take. Let me direct you again to soccer. The best possible reviews. If there's something that needs to be reviewed, they review it while the game's going on. And if there's no reason to call it back, then you keep playing, and it never happened. And if you need to stop the game and go take a penalty or something like that, it's like, oh, we'll go do that now. You don't stop the game.
And if you have to stop the game, you add on extra time so that you're not wasting the time.
Yeah.
Oh, now there are fake injuries in soccer. Pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Everybody
but it's not like
makes
that doesn't
fun of
happen.
it.
I mean, like Kentucky does a ton of that anyway. So.
Right. It is true. It has bled over.
Yeah.
Dirty team.
I'm hurt.
Dirty
No.
team.
Is anybody looking? I'm okay.
Yeah. Last thing I will say on this, and I've suggested this before. It was several years ago. I was a neophyte on the airwaves. It was a half-baked idea. It's not any more baked than it is now, but I still believe it. Just call your own fouls. We don't need referees. We don't need timeouts. I want no rules in football. Call your own fouls.
No way that
Nope,
works.
That doesn't work.
Preston likes it.
I don't like. It can't work because, as you were saying about hands to the face, well, in my mind I was thinking, well, the throat's not the face. So, I mean, you can chop them in the throat. They're not gonna. So,
yeah.
So that mindset is pretty prevalent in football, and they need some control of the chaos.
I just want to see it, just for a week. I just an experiment. Let's see what happens. 803-404-6100. Guys, do you have any more thoughts from the Kentucky game?
Rewatched last
Well,
night.
I mean, not
again.
I just needed like a
yes or no
primer.
Maybe a few.
Okay.
Let me marinate.
Chris will tell us some stuff that he saw on Saturday. Next.
More of the Extra Point coming up next on 107.5 The Game.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WIN for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WIN for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WIN.
Government regulations for HVAC systems are changing in 2023. What does that mean for you? It means the time to save is right now. Contact AAA Heating and Air, who must clear out their warehouse to make room for these new regulated systems. No deals will be turned down. Plus, you get a 15-year part and labor warranty, guaranteed financing. Anyone can get a brand new HVAC system as soon as tomorrow. That's AAA Heating and Air at 803-677-1500. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
How does a car repair shop last in business for over 50 years like Sudduth Automotive? By providing affordable, reliable, and honest auto repair. But if you ask them, they'll tell you it's their loyal customers who come back time and time again to entrust them with their car repairs. Well-trained technicians, service packages, and monthly specials. Isn't it time you became a customer? Call or come by at 1410 North Millwood Avenue or make an appointment at SudduthAuto.com.
Spooky season is here, and there's nothing scarier than dingy, dirty, crunchy carpet under your feet. Trust no one other than the cleaning experts at Zerez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning to save your home from the dirt monsters. With over 1,900 Google reviews and a 4.9 star rating, Zerez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning is the most highly reviewed cleaning company in the Midlands. Take advantage of their fall sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game. Schedule your cleaning online, ZerezColumbia.com. Well, friends, the Midlands' best kept secret is no longer a secret. The secret's out there. Charwood Golf Club is the Midlands' must play golf course anywhere. If you want pure golf, no pool, no tennis, and no drama, the Wood is for you. Not only is Charwood a great golf course, it's home to the 1075 The Game Fall Classic. Charwood is family owned and professionally managed for over 40 years. And from their fast greens to cold beer and good times, Charwood, affectionately known as the Wood, is calling you. Visit them on the web, charwood.com.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100% feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 803-281-6860. That's 803-281-6860. 803-281-6860.
Hey, I'm Jenny Sturm. I'm with Sturmy Plumbing. Call my dad if you have any slow drains, clogged drains, leaky pipes, runny toilets, runny sinks, or no hot water. Call Sturmy Plumbing for all of your service and repair needs. 803-201-2689. At Sturmy Plumbing, where we make your gray skies blue.
This is Lisa with Stormy Plumbing. I look forward to hearing from you. Please call us at 803-201-2689. Thank you.
If you have equity in your home, let Cap Center put it to work with a cash-out refinance. With competitive interest rates and a cap on closing costs, a cash-out refi with Cap Center gives you more to work with.
I'm a local business owner, so I understand the value of teamwork and communication. The Cap Center process is smoother than any I've experienced, and with the money for my cash-out refi, I was able to remodel my kitchen.
Get more with a Cap Center cash-out refinance. Believe it. Equal housing lender. Restrictions apply. Visit CapCenter.com for details. NMLS ID number 67717. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler, Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell on the home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
11:40 on a Wednesday morning, and welcome back into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Pearson, Preston, Wes, a.k.a. Dude in the Weight Room, Chris, a.k.a. Reese's Senior Bowl, here with you. Talking about, I guess, things that aggravate us. I don't know why. I think we're all in a good mood today.
Love this show.
Yeah, just kind of a weird Wednesday. No game this weekend for South Carolina. Everyone has seemingly said their piece about the Kentucky game. Chris has a few more observations for us. And still a week plus away from the Texas A&M game, although noise, nothing confirmed yet. So we'll call it a developing, not even a developing story, a developing rumor. But the Texas A&M may be without their starter/backup/starter again quarterback in Haynes King. Of course, Max Johnson already out for the season, so it could be the third teamer Connor Wegman that the Gamecocks are facing 1 week from Saturday. A lot of time between now and then, and like I said, nothing confirmed out of College Station, but at least something to monitor if you're a South Carolina fan. And Chris, I said this to Preston earlier, but as much injury misfortune as South Carolina had last year, especially at the quarterback position, it seems like they're getting it back in spades this year and at a extremely important junction of the season potentially.
Yeah, nobody would honestly, nobody in Columbia should feel sorry for any other team with the injury situation, the quarterback situation. And so we don't know. I did see that Haynes King is supposed to be he's scheduled to be doing an autograph signing with a bunch of his teammates in College Station, I think on this Saturday. And so if anybody wants to travel to College Station, ask him his availability.
Yeah.
See if he's got a rib wrap on or something like that.
Can you sign this? Also, can I poke you in the ribs?
Can you lift your arm up a little bit more? Go this way.
Yeah, just say, sign it up here. Can you sign it up
Yeah.
here? Up here? Up here?
But,
I just really admire your throwing motion. Can you go through a full range of motion for me?
Well, he does have an odd throwing motion too.
King? Yeah,
I
I
feel
saw
like
a video
his-
the other day. It was like he looked like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more painful for him because he goes so up high.
Yeah,
You know.
very high.
But
he's trying to be like Udonis Haslam, just likes that high release, I guess.
I think that's been, Texas A&M's kind of a case study in how important quarterback play is. Like, they've got a very talented team. And look, they still, I mean, they lost to App State, right? Played horribly on offense in that game. Mississippi State beat them. Mississippi State's beaten a lot of teams, made them look pretty bad. But they beat Arkansas because Arkansas, we've covered that. They hit a field goal off the top of the post. And they arguably should have beaten Bama, right? I mean, it was very, very close. So this is still a very talented team, but their inability to figure out the quarterback situation has hurt them. And they've played 2 guys so far. Max Johnson has either a hand or finger injury, I think, on his throwing hand. So he's going to be out for a while, potentially the season from what's been reported. Haynes King definitely looked at the end of the Bama game, and maybe this is what that's stemming from. There might be a real injury, but he definitely looked kind of worse for the wear at the end of that game. Connor Weigman, however you say it. I mean, this is a guy that was a consensus 5-star quarterback, in the 2022 class, but he has not thrown a pass. And so, like you said, a critical juncture for South Carolina where they've got a few games in a row lined up that are winnable. And if you can take a couple, now you're bowl eligible. So I think South Carolina fans and probably this team, they're kind of smelling some blood in the water. But I don't think this is a team that, regardless of the quarterback situation, you can't write it off. I mean, Devin Achane, great back. Got a lot of play. Evan Stewart is a freshman, amazing receiver. They've got a lot of talent on this team. Yeah, a lot of talent on this team.
It might be 2 straight games of. Wait, how do we say this guy's name? With Kai Sharon and then Weigman. I think that's telling when you don't know how to pronounce the quarterback's name. The other thing, though, and we'll have obviously more time later this week and next week to talk about Texas A&M, but just on the surface and having watched a decent amount of them this year, they seem just like a more extreme version of Kentucky, where the defense is even better and the offense is even worse. And I have no idea what that means for Carolina.
Well, I think it means another exciting game, potentially. A-Chain, probably one of my favorite players in the league, and definitely one of the coolest last names in the league. That dude's a monster.
Yep.
But, I mean, we've talked about it for the last week and a half, but how much does one win just completely change the vibe going into that game? I mean, you beat Kentucky. It kind of just flips the expectation for these 3 games. I feel like it takes some pressure off of South Carolina going into this game too. And you could tell instantly after the win, there were people on Twitter already talking about, like, let's go ahead and sell this game out. Like, let's try to do something to make it a special atmosphere. You kind of go into that game where I feel like, fans were going to come to the game regardless, especially 7:30 kickoff. But I think you're going to have some additional juice, a little extra energy from the crowd. See, you've been working on your spots over there, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be fun, and it's now a winnable game. It just goes to show you, like, I look at these next 3 games. You probably would have said coming into the year, Carolina's not beating A&M, and you probably would have said, even though they've lost 3 in a row to Missouri, they should beat Missouri at home. And you would have
they should beat Kentucky.
and you would have said you're always going to predict them to beat Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're saying, oh, wow, A&M, like, that's a winnable game. But you're also saying, watch out for Missouri and watch out for Vandy in Nashville because they're a little bit more scrappy than you probably thought coming in.
Texas A&M should be 2-4. Could be 2-4.
Missouri should be 5-1. Let's
Could
not
be.
say should be.
Yeah.
Should be at least 4-2.
Should have beaten Auburn, that Georgia game. Maybe Georgia was always going to outlast Missouri in that game, but they fought like hell the whole time. I think going into the season, the stretch of Kentucky, Texas A&M, Missouri, and Vanderbilt, you said 2-2. Is it fair to say that if Carolina's not 3-1 in that stretch now, it's a little bit disappointing?
Probably a little bit. but you could still easily see 2 and 2. It might just look different than you thought.
Yeah.
You know, like
that they could still lose. I maintain 9-3. They could still lose to Texas A&M.
What do you mean? You maintain?
Like Texas A&M might still be. They might have their third string quarterback, but the defense is good enough.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a low score. That could be 9-3.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I didn't know if you meant like during the hours of 9 to 3. You believe that?
Yeah, change my opinion in the afternoon.
No, but I mean, I could see it. I mean, my expectation actually, I think. Let's see what Vegas finds out about the quarterback situation, but I could easily believe A&M walks in here favored from a Vegas standpoint. Like that's not hard to believe at all.
I think they will.
I think it's going to be a small margin, but that'd be my guess. But you're probably favored against Missouri if you beat A&M. Probably favored at Vandy, but that is. I mean, it's still it's a tougher stretch than you thought. And like Wes said, like it's different than what you thought coming into this season. But you know, this has also been an interesting stretch because of all the different trends. I wrote about this a little this morning. Like Kentucky had won 7 of 8. You kind of got out of that funk, so to speak. But you've got some other ones in this stretch. Texas A&M, ever since they introduced themselves to South Carolina in 2014, they've won 8 straight. And most of them have not been close. So some of the early games were close. I think the last 3 is something like 122-23. And 8 straight. And then you've got Missouri has beaten you 3 straight, and Tennessee has beaten you 3 straight. Vanderbilt has not beaten you 3 straight, although they almost got one last season. But,
yeah. Interesting. A lot of streaks on the line in the next couple weeks for Carolina. Of course, more time next week to talk about Texas A&M for the Gamecocks this week. Self-scouting, getting healthy. We'll take a little more time in the next couple of days to really evaluate where this team is right now, halfway through the season. 803-404-6100. Want to hear from you guys in the text line or the Love Chevy phone line. Any thoughts that you have? I would love to hear from you, and you can get us on Twitter at Pearson Fowler, at Coach P Tweets, at Wes Mitchell GC, and at GC Chris Clark.
More of the Extra Point coming up next on 107.5 The Game.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
For appliances with Reliances, that's Jeffers McGill.
Come see the entire line of Whirlpool appliances at our new location on 1421 Atlas Road. Whirlpool offers bigger, better, and more efficient appliances. And Jeffers McGill offers the best in customer service and low prices. Jeffers McGill and Whirlpool, your home team.
For appliances with Reliances, that's Jeffers McGill.
I can walk again. I can cross my legs again. I can wear heels again.
After years of living with chronic joint pain, Andrea Southard is now living a normal life, pain-free, thanks to natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics.
We tried everything, and my husband had heard the commercial for QC Kinetics on the radio, and he told me to call him and check it out.
That phone call changed Andrea's life. QC Kinetics used powerful natural biologics to treat her aching joints. It's high-tech precision medicine that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue with no surgery and no drugs, providing lasting relief.
I felt like I was in my 20s again. I could tie my own shoes, really the little things that you don't think about.
Pain in your hips, knees, back, shoulders? Get rid of the pain now. Call QC Kinetics.
803-281-6860. That's 803-281-6860. QC Kinetics, 803-281-6860.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Guys, want an effective, affordable way to get ED medication 100% online? Whether you're looking for Viagra or Cialis, or generic medications as effective as Viagra but 90% cheaper, you can find it all through HIMS. HIMS is your go-to for doctor-trusted treatments to help you treat ED. Get ED treatment for as low as $3 per use and save up to $1,000 per month with generic for Viagra versus the brand name at 4hims.com/radio. If prescribed, your medication will be shipped to your door in discreet packaging. Do it all online. No in-person appointments. Get hard results with HIMS or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/radio to get your first visit free. That's 4hims.com/radio to get started free. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Schroeder's Towing wants to remind you that the game isn't over, even after the final whistle.
Yeah, how about that turnover?
Oh, yeah.
Or not turning over? I guess it's a bad time to bring up the false start.
Schroeder's Towing always has your back, every day and every game day. When the final whistle blows, we're ready to tow. The fastest response comes from the most trusted and reliable name in towing. Schroeder's Towing, the best hookers in town.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Presented by Firehouse Subs. Founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler, Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell. On the home of the Gamecocks. 1075 The Game.
$11:54 Wednesday morning, and welcome back into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Pearson, Preston, Wes, Chris, here with you in the Herndon Chevy Studios, 1075 The Game. Wrapping things up here on a Wednesday. A little bit of an odd Wednesday. No Shane Beamer press conference, no coordinator availability today. And this really is the last day that we'll talk about Kentucky really at all, other than just like, hey, remember when Carolina beat Kentucky finally? Chris, you said you watched the game again for the seventh time yesterday and still had some new observations. The gift that keeps on giving. What'd you see?
This isn't going to be anything groundbreaking at all. Not at all. But another little thing I wrote about this morning, I don't think it should be lost on anyone that it's not really normal what Nicky Minori and DQ Smith have done in secondary. It's not normal. You don't expect that anywhere. They have played, I mean, part of it, right, is necessity, in that they've played so much, but that they've played so well, I think is something that everybody should be excited about, thankful for, all those types of emotions. Because, I mean, look, Nicky Minori, like South Carolina signed a quality 2022 defensive back class. I mean, there are multiple 4-star guys in there. Nick, except for the local people that knew how good he was at Irmo, and DQ, except for the local people who knew how good he was at Spring Valley, but weren't even sure about him transitioning to DB. Aside from that group, everybody was expecting, okay, Emory Floyd and Anthony Rose and Keenan Nelson, like these are going to be the guys that are probably going to play early. But these two guys came in, they weren't talked about as much. Kawan Banks, same thing. And they have ended up playing a lot and playing extremely well. Didn't even get here until the summer. They didn't go through spring drills, winter workouts. DQ's not played DB since 8th grade. Not only is he starting, he's now started at 2 different positions. He's played safety and nickel. So he's, an incredible. I saw his high school coach, Robin Bacon, was at Carolina's facility this morning. So it got me thinking about it.
Played every snap against Kentucky.
Yeah, and Nick, right?
Yeah, every meaningful snap.
So, I mean, that was just something, that it wasn't like, it was kind of more of a big picture takeaway watching that game. But, I mean, what a blessing for South Carolina that those two have been able to come in and do that.
Yeah, well, we've stumbled onto a topic that bears a lot more exploring right now, and unfortunately, we don't have enough time for it. So we'll put a pin in this, come back to it tomorrow. But just how that happens. How does someone like that go under recruited? What did South Carolina do right in its evaluation? Of course, the players themselves deserve a lot of credit for being able to come in and get up to speed. Torian Gray, the group that he's with some of those young players back there. We'll We'll save that for tomorrow as we take a little bit of a bigger picture look at the team heading into the open week. But that is all we have time for today. Appreciate you guys listening. As always, we'll be back tomorrow, and the halftime show's coming up next.